Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that right now. Hit that subscribe button right below. You want to discuss the spat between ESPN and YouTube TV? Do you have any thoughts? Other than I want them to figure it out.
I mean, look, we're in a world. It is kind of funny. It does look like, now maybe this is just a couple vocal people, but for anyone that doesn't know, ESPN and YouTube TV are not able to come to an agreement on YouTube TV continuing to carry ESPN stuff. So consequently, anyone that was watching that way no longer has access to all Disney stuff, not just ESPN, right? Like it's anything Disney.
Yeah, ESPN, ABC,
right?
SEC Network,
so all
ACC,
that's gone.
Everything attached to ESPN or Disney.
Essentially, ESPN, who is now creating their own in-house bundle product thing, is saying, well, you need to pay more if you want to carry this thing, because otherwise we're like they're selling to a competitor effectively. So they're trying to up their prices. Everybody is trying to do that to YouTube TV, so their prices have to keep going up. So they're understandably fighting against that and trying to keep their prices as low as possible. It is just the latest in an installment of, corporate overlords trying to squeeze the little guy. Like, whatever happens, your price is going up at some point. But it does seem to be kind of funny that we're in this world where consumers are getting squeezed everywhere, basically since COVID. Like COVID, I think, taught corporate America and corporate world that, the way you thought there was a limit to how much you could squeeze people, turns out there isn't. And actually, if there is, it's a lot higher than you thought it was, like an order of magnitude higher than you thought it was. So keep putting your prices up. Put your prices up. Shrinkflation, keep doing that. Make everything smaller. Charge more money for it. Keep going. There's no limit. People will pay it. They'll be annoyed, but they'll pay it. So that's been happening for years. This has been the straw that broke the camel's back. And for at least a few people, and some very vocal, high-profile people have been like, I'm not paying for this. This is it. I will go without Monday Night Football. I'm not doing this one.
Even Pat McAfee's been vocal about it. He's on ESPN.
Well, the people,
and he's calling out his fellow colleagues for pushing this whole keepmynetworks.com thing.
You've got the actual ESPN employees who were all given this PR bump to tweet out and say, hey, please call your representative to say that you want ESPN. This is, a sad thing for everybody. Obnoxious PR spin. And then you've got the contractor world, the guys that are basically being licensed, like that ESPN has gone to instead of that came to ESPN. Like, hey, McAfee, you've got a huge audience and a great show. Could we, do a little business? And he's going, yeah, sure. But McAfee retains independence and complete control and the license to point out when they're being assholes.
He doesn't need ESPN as much as they need
So
him,
all
probably.
These guys that have got FU money and the independence to still point out when ESPN are being assholes are all pointing out that ESPN are being assholes.
And it's funny. I'll be honest. Like, we're not as big as McAfee, but I'm still. There's a part of me that's worried about, like, well, if you call out ESPN and if you ever have to do business with them, or if you call out YouTube TV, like YouTube TV would be a great sponsor for us. We've got hardcore football fans. We can help push your Sunday ticket product and everything. So I don't want to trash potential partners like we do with Skyline on here.
Right.
But just you want to call it out, right? It is YouTube TV. It looks ridiculous to YouTube TV subscribers because they had a price point of like $32 a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And it looked great at the time, but they must have anticipated the licensing, the carriage discussions coming up, which is like, well, ESPN wants $15 a subscriber and Fox wants X per subscriber. And so they've had to jack up. It looks like they've jacked up their prices, which they have, but they have to do it because they're paying Fox, they're paying ESPN, they're paying them to carry their networks, and they want to get a good amount. And so ESPN's trying to say, well, we're pushing people to this app where we can get $40 per customer.
Yep.
We don't want to only make $10 per customer from YouTube TV. And so Google's crying monopoly, saying you're trying to push everybody to Hulu. You own Hulu, Disney, and you're trying to push everybody to your stuff. And then the consumer is definitely the one that gets screwed over because the number of people who are like, I think I have ESPN Plus, and I have Hulu, and I have Disney. Where are my football games? It's like, nah, you got to be Mr. Unlimited. You got to go to ESPN Unlimited for that, and that's $40 now or $30 or whatever it is. We'll give you a deal year one. And so, honestly, I actually don't think ESPN's doing a good job of even conveying what people need to do to get to the games. And then the fact that they created the website called keepmynetworks.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stuff that drives me nuts, is the PR spin on that. It's like, oh, big bad Google. They're making us, we can't give in here. If you want your football games, go to keepmynetworks.com. That reminds me of my old teammate was the lawyer on behalf of minor league baseball players. And they had a whole bill in Congress to keep minor league baseball players' salary low. We were making like $2 an hour historically. So my old teammate was the lawyer that helped get better, salaries and everything for minor league players. But the bill that went through Congress was called the Save America's Pastime Bill, which was going to suppress the salaries and keep them at like $2 an hour. But they called it Save America's Pastime. Right. Who doesn't want to save America's pastime? Who doesn't want to keep their network? KeepMyNetworks.com. We're just the little guy. We're trying to give you your football games. Go to KeepMyNetworks.com. It's on you. If you want to watch football, it's on you, the consumer. Yeah. You got to go to the website and voice your opinion when it's really the two billionaires at the top fighting.
Well, that's the thing. So it's Google against Disney in this world of who gets to screw people the most, right? Like we are watching two gluttonous fat guys sitting there at a meal fighting over who gets most of this food whilst everyone else is starving on the outside looking through the window getting nothing. That's what's happening here. Like these two guys are arguing over who gets the bigger half of this giant steak while everyone else is starving on the outside, the freezing cold. It doesn't matter who wins. Like you're getting screwed either way.
Yeah.
In this scenario, I believe that Disney is the worse guy than Google. But either way, you're getting hosed.
Oh yeah, it all comes down to the consumer on us. So it's not a great situation. And look, everybody loses in this deal. I am curious to know the PR spin on the ratings. I am very curious. The ratings had to go down. And there's 10 million YouTube subscribers. And the other thing is YouTube TV. YouTube TV has Sunday Ticket, right? The number of people who bought every NFL game for Sunday Ticket like us, and then you lose Monday Night Football and you lose college football or whatever. Like you're losing. A lot of people who move to YouTube TV are hardcore football fans. Couldn't have been pleased this weekend. So ratings must have gone down. And that's the thing too. Like ESPN's trying to make money from subscriptions. And then when their ratings are up, they get more ad money, right? So you're getting a lot of money from two different avenues, from the subscriptions and from the ad revenue. And they may have seen a bump in subscriptions. Like at least some people gave in this weekend, right?
Sure.
But I imagine the ad revenue is going to take a hit if more people don't, like if they only get 30% of people to convert, they're going to lose ad revenue theoretically.
It is interesting that I just assumed that everyone would suck it up and pay, and there's the latest instance of getting screwed and one more. But there was a surprising volume of people that were like, this is the line. This is the one I'm not doing.
Yeah.
I was willing to take Peacock when there was an extra game that we needed on Netflix because we already had it anyway, and blah, blah, blah. Like each one of these things, everyone's like, fine, I'll take this hit. And then this was the one where a bunch of people went, no, I will do without Monday Night Football. You know what? I've been missing my Mondays anyway, right? And a bunch of people drew the line in the sand here. Now, I don't know if that's enough for it to make any difference.
I'm curious if it moves the needle.
But this is a fascinating example of this is the problem. Like, I feel a little bit about capitalism the way, Winston Churchill did about democracy. Like, democracy is the worst form of government except for all of the other ones, right? Capitalism is a terrible system. It's just better than anything else.
Yeah.
And this is one of the problems with capitalism. Like, you can't just let it go free reign with no regulation, with nothing. Like, and everybody admits that. Like, there's a reason they don't allow monopolies, because the ultimate conclusion of capitalism is eventually everything funnels up to one guy in charge of everything. And everybody agrees that that's a bad idea.
Because that's the weakness of all the others.
Right. So we draw the line and say, look, monopolies are bad. We can't have that. But that's like the ultimate conclusion, inevitable conclusion of capitalism, which you have to prevent it from eating its own tail. So somewhere along the line you do that. But this is another one of these things. Giant corporate conglomerates just go to war, and whatever happens, you get screwed.
So that's our take. Figure it out. Figure it out by next week.
And if you could find a way of lowering the prices instead of increasing them forever, that would be great.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a video.
You heard the man. Subscribe.